129th Contact Wednesday, March 5, 1980, 3:05 a.m. Billy, you don't look very happy, girl. Semjase, 1. This should not sadden you. Billy, but may I at least know what's eating you? Semjase, 2. I'm just still always depressed by all the connections with regard to Vreni and her unfair business, about which I wouldn't like to speak, however. 3. In this regard, we have, indeed, made the agreement that from our side, we will no longer get involved in your group concerns. Billy, and if I ask you to talk about it now in this case, nevertheless. Semjase, 4. That would present the things in a fundamentally different light, because you would then just seek information and explanations. Billy, then I hereby do that, my child, about which you will certainly be glad, because you, as I look at you, would like to unload a heavy burden from yourself, right? Semjase, 5. That corresponds to the truth, and I am very depressed about all these indelicate and improper happenings. Billy, then express yourself calmly. I'm all ears. Semjase, 6. I thank you. 7. There has, indeed, never been such a great need for me to give some knowledge from myself, as it is the case today. Billy, then please don't let yourself still be asked about it for a long time. I just thought that you had told me everything the last time. But apparently, that wasn't the case. Semjase, 8. That's right. Billy, then at that time, you were so furious because of that? Semjase, 9. Yes, but I just could not talk about it. 10. But this has depressed me ever more since then, so I would be very happy now if I can still give you the remaining explanations of the investigations performed. Billy, you see, one just shouldn't let a goiter grow. Semjase, 11. I understand the meaning of your words very well, but consider that until now, I have never gotten into such a situation, where due to surges of emotion, I fell into rage and got tangled up inside myself. Billy, I also make no reproach to you from that, and moreover, you proved to me through your bad situation, in which you are now stuck, that even you are actually just a completely normal human being. But now, let's hear what still depresses you so much. Semjase, 12. As always, you were very understanding. 13. Well, what I hid from you the last time, and what has brought me into rage and emotional difficulties, is this. 14. Not only has Vreni gotten involved in some very improper actions, but also her husband beat. 15. With several people together, the two of them, out of calculations and assumptions and so on that are purely based on delusions of the brain, have formed a misleading group of conspirators in evil confusion with several other persons, to whom supposedly thousands of years-old relationships and certain forms of love should exist. 16. Some of these persons are well known to you, whose names are not important here, however. 17. But in truth, the matters are such that among all those involved in this doubt-pervaded, false community from Vreni's and Beat's graces, which works against the interests of your group, there are only two people who have contacts with each other to exhibit from former lives as other personalities, so namely only Beat and Vreni. 18. All the others, however, see themselves for the first time in this life, just as also Vreni and Beat encounter all these people belonging to the conspirator community for the first time in this life. 19. Never before have they met in former lives as other persons. 20. Due to serious false calculations and false mediumistic machinations of several parties involved, false emotions were aroused, particularly in Vreni, which expanded into a false love, which truly has no basis. 21. But you will still be informed about that this week by Beat in writing, from which you can then see that my explanations and clarifications are based on truth. 22. This group wrongly brought to life by Vreni and Beat, because they are the main initiators of it, is also of the very dangerous and erroneous view that between Lillo's husband and you, there's an inner rift, so to speak, which would have to be eliminated by Lillo's husband and you, with the help of Beat, Vreni, Engelbert, Lillo and other persons. 23. But truly no iota of this corresponds to the truth. 24. Vreni has falsely fallen in love emotionally with Lillo's husband. Billy, he is named Albert, as I have learned in the meantime. Semjase, 25. That is known to me, but I wouldn't like to express his name. 26. So, Vreni has become emotionally attached to Lillo's husband in a false being in love, in the mistaken belief that they would already know each other for thousands of years, which doesn't correspond to the truth, however, which I was able to clarify clearly and without any mistake. 27. Even in the last life, the two never saw each other, because Vreni had been born in Spain and never left the country and also did not become acquainted with Lillo's present husband there. 28. Lillo's husband, on the other hand, lived in Germany at that time, where he was born under the name Florian Beck on the 14th of July, 1863 in Bavaria. 29. Already early on, he was admitted to a reformatory in Brighton as a deceiver and shirker. 30. After his release, he roamed about throughout his life in Germany and in Austria as a beggar and vagrant, whereby he became arrested and locked in the dungeon 63 times because of stealing, begging, and vagrancy. 31. 2 murders committed by him, 2 women, whom he raped and robbed after their murders, were imputed to him, for which he was not punished, however, for lack of sufficient evidence. 32. Already at the age of 11 years, he suffered a leg injury, which he had to bear throughout the days of his life, because already at this age, he tried to rob an elderly woman, who seriously injured him with a club, however. 33. These are the actual facts surrounding Vreni and Lillo's husband, who still carries very many parts of his former life with himself now in this life, because he draws them off from the storage banks. 34. But these are only 2 of all, for also Beat as well as Lillo and even further persons play a role in this new conspirator community. Billy, but what, then, do they want with that? Semjase, 35. I already explained that to you, but at the same time, I still have to add that Vreni and Beat have joined the core group only because of their aim. Billy, that, too. Then it's probably better if they are excluded as soon as possible? Semjase, 36. That would be of importance, which would be the case anyway, when they would begin their journey to America, as I already explained to you at our last meeting. Billy, then what you said isn't valid, if they would remain here in Switzerland? Semjase, 37. It is, but this decision would rest with the group members. 38. They would then have to decide whether the 2 could continue to remain and learn in the community of your group or whether they should be excluded. Billy, what, then, would you say as advice? Semjase, 39. Exclusion. Billy, that is a clear answer and clear advice. Thanks. Do you have even more of these pieces of bad news? Semjase, 40. Not in this connection, because what is yet to be explained concerning this, I would like to tell you in confidence. 41. Only for Elsie would I still like to explain that in the future. It's better for her if she always turns to you in a spirit of mutual confidence with all her concerns of such kind, rather than be silent in a false understanding. Billy, by which she triggers a catastrophe, like now. Semjase, 42. Certainly. Billy, you said that you have nothing more to say concerning this, but you apparently still have some bad news in another form? Semjase, 43. That's right, namely with regard to the meditation center's control, which did, indeed, reach its due date on the 1st of March. Billy: oh dear, I think I already know what's coming. Semjase, 44. Then you are, indeed, not surprised. 45. The entire bearing of Madeleine has not changed in relation to the meditation exercises because she continues to sleep in the center, without truly striving. 46. Through this, she pollutes the center with her free-running vibrations, which is no longer tolerable. 47. Her definite absence from the meditation room for a long time must be urgently decided by the core group members. Billy: and what about her storage? Semjase, 48. That is eliminated. Billy: and there's no going back for her. Semjase, 49. In 1 year at the earliest, if she has not done anything by the middle of this year to ensure that she must be excluded. 50. If she should change, however, then she may make an attempt again in 1 year, which will then be final, however. Billy: and how about all the others? Semjase, 51. They range from good to passable, but we are content, even though illogical happenings and dubious efforts often arise with almost all group members. 52. But we have learned to understand this through the illogical, fickle efforts of the group members. Billy: then is that everything? Semjase, 53. Yes. Billy: good, that's also enough for me for today, although I actually still had another question regarding this Albert, I mean Lillo's husband. He has stated that you would maintain contact with him and that he also knows me in the best manner, etc. But for this, you did, indeed, already give detailed explanations in connection with HG the last time, so this is unnecessary. Then greet everyone nicely for me, until we meet again. Semjase, 54. Till we meet again, and very, very dear thanks for letting me rid myself of my worries and oppressions and distresses with you. 55. I will still tell you the remaining things soon in another contact, which I will not then transmit to you, however. Billy: then you are better now? Semjase, 56. Very much so. 57. Quite dear thanks. Billy: nothing to thank me for, my child. It's just important that you now have your peace again. Semjase, 58. That is now so, yes. Billy: good, then I can take off again. Bye, and dear greetings to the others. See you. Semjase, 59. Farewell, my friend. 60. See you soon.